Hey guys, what's up there? This is me, DV, and welcome to United Chokros from Mumbai. We have with me AB, and again today we're going to do a show about match preview Manchester United versus Southampton. This game's at St. Mary, so we're going to talk a lot about today's starting lineup, scoreline predictions, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the next four games. So all about that we're going to talk. We're going to also do a bit of transfer window, a couple of players going out, and one of them coming in. So we're going to talk all about that. So stay tuned, guys. But the most important thing from today onwards, we're going to do a questionnaire because we've always said this show is not just about the two of us. It's about you guys. Your opinion matters the most, and we as United Chokros want to grow together as a family, and you guys are the most important part of this family. So from today onwards, we're going to do a questionnaire. We're going to ask you one question, and we want your answers in the comment section. It's going to be an interesting question, and it's always going to be fan opinion. So the question for today is, who do you think one player that we need to sell from the starting lineup? Now that player can be from the starting 18, but not your Jones or Lingard or Rojo. One player you think we should sell in this January transfer window, and one player we need to bring in this January transfer window who can have the same impact as Bruno Fernandes. Please make sure to put in your answers in the comment section and know your opinion. So guys, without any further delay, let's begin this video. Please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done yet. Let's watch highlights of the previous game that was played at Old Trafford, after the lockdown. So let's watch a small 90-second clip and we'll discuss about today's game.
Ward-Prowse, loose touch, now they're in trouble. Oh, it's a mistake from the skipper. It should be 1-0. Great save, Alex McCarthy, to stop Anthony Martial. Through on goal, one-on-one. For all money, the Frenchman looked like he was going to score. And now they're giving it away, United. Now Saints can pounce. Redmond in the box on the left. Chips it to the back post. Surely it's 1-0, it is. And Stuart Armstrong chests it down and half volleys it past David De Gea. A mistake in midfield, possibly by Paul Pogba, has given Southampton the lead at Manchester United. As I say that, Luke Shaw burst past the 1-2 from Martial. Lovely ball to Rashford. 1-1, but the flag goes up early. Rashford's offside. Jean Massielis says that is not going to count. Crossing from the right, shouldn't have got as far as Martial, it did. Tries to turn, Rashford to his left, 1-1. And again, that was avoidable from Southampton. United shift it over halfway through Pogba and Fernandes and out to the left wing. And here's Martial onto his right foot with pace, and he smashes it past McCarthy. And suddenly Manchester United have come to life and come back from a goal behind to lead. Plays it down the left for Martial. This is dangerous. Pulls it back. Oh, and it should have been a brilliant goal. How did they not score? Here's a corner from Ward-Prowse. Whipped into the danger area, and Southampton have equalised. And it's Michael Obafemi who specialises in away goals. He scored the substitute. It was a wicked corner from James Ward-Prowse. That's it.
And that's it.
Full time.
Yeah, so guys, this was the previous match highlights. It was the 2-all draw at Old Trafford, and it is going to be a very difficult game. So without talking much, I will, go straight to you, AB. I want to know your starting lineup and what do you think will be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's starting lineup and why?
First, I'll start with Ole's starting lineup. That's what I feel would be the most important thing. My starting 11 can be changed here or there. But what I feel Solskjaer would start today, looking at the injury, the injury list and the probables that could be in the injury squad today and not being part of our starting 11. So what I heard the latest in Ole's press conference is that there is a possibility that Van Bissaka, Lindelof and Rashford may not be available. Pogba and McTominay are not available for sure. So these two players are out of the squad for sure. But if I look at the starting 11 for Solskjaer, that would be David De Gea for sure at the goal. I think so. Right back could be Fosu Mensah for me. That is what I think Ole would play, and that's what even I would play. Then Maguire as a centre back, and I think so. Ole would play Swansea. He should be giving him a good opportunity this time if Lindelof is not playing. And then left back has to be Alex Telles. I don't see any second doubt in that. So that's the perfect back four for me. Looking at the midfield, I think so. It could be Matic who could start because McTominay is not there. As we discussed in the earlier video as well, Solskjaer
Mm,
would certainly like to go as more of a defensive mindset this time, since his
mhm.
two defensive main players are not there, Lindelof and Van Bissaka. And along with that would be Fred, the main person who's anchoring our midfield nowadays. I think so. He could give a chance to Greenwood maybe this time on an attacking pitch, uh, along with Bruno and Rashford and Martial as a striker. So this would be Ole's squad, according to me. The only change in my squad would be instead of Greenwood, I would like to see Donny Van De Beek, and the rest everything looks good for me. What about you, David?
Okay, I think Ole's lineup will be the more or less same as the Istanbul game because I think doesn't have much option in the midfield, and I don't think he will start with Matic. So it would be the same lineup. I think the interesting part, what I want to see is the front three. Does he go with a same front three, Cavani, Martial, and Rashford, or does he turn to Greenwood? There's a lot of options that he can do. And maybe he can start Matic and Fred, like you said, and put Donny Van De Beek on the right hand side. That looks very highly unlikely. I think he prefers Van De Beek playing either as a number 10 or number 8. So it'll be interesting to see whether he'll go with the same old lineup, Matic, Fred, and then Mata on the right. I don't want to see that. Yeah, I like one Mata a lot, but I think it should either be Greenwood or Van De Beek. Probably, I think Greenwood will get an upper hand, like you said. And what I want to see is Van de Beek in that number 8 position, along with Fred. It will be an interesting game because Southampton are an exciting team. They're not the team who will, sit back and park the bus and then, try to counter attack or score a goal on the free kick or corner kick. They're not that kind of a team. They have their own style of play. So it's going to be very difficult. I think for me, this is going to be the most difficult game for United. I know we played Chelsea, we played Arsenal, we played Spurs, but for me, Southampton is a very difficult game. You could look at Solskjaer himself said, if you look at the past 25, 30 games from back from last season till today, Southampton have done really well. They are among the top 4 teams. Like, if you look at the past 30 game result, Southampton have done really well under the new manager they have because it's not that they're like the other mid-table or the lower half league table teams. They will not defend and try to score nick a goal with a counter attack or with a free kick. They're not good. They have their own brand of style of play. Their own philosophy. They will attack. They will press forward. They have the best. The very good thing about Southampton that we need to learn. They move the ball very quickly. They won't have too many touches, and when you move the ball that quickly, it becomes very difficult for opposition to figure out your way. So it becomes very difficult to defend against such teams. So that's why Southampton were successful, last season, towards the end of the last season, and then coming into the season, they are among the top 5, I think, and they're unbeaten this season. What's really good about Southampton, it's going to be a really difficult game. And I think rather than sitting back, and doing that stupid thing that we always do, I think we need to be on the front foot from minute one itself. Like the way we played in the first 45 minutes against Istanbul, that's how we need to play. We need to have that style of play. To be honest, I don't see that we have any style of play. I mean, we adapt to every game how the opposition is. If it's a difficult opposition, we'll sit back and defend, and if it's a opposition like Istanbul, we'll go on the front foot. So I don't think that's right because every team needs to have their own style of play. Yes, we need to make our change here and two there. That's always happens, but you need to stick with your starting lineup. You need to stick with your style of play. That should always be there. Don't you think so?
Yeah, exactly. If you see the last game also, that we took them very casually towards the end of the game, and then they got the
Correct.
better. The game was a draw. It would have easily could have been a win for us, but slight defense, slight
Mm,
lack of defense. If you see the
mm,
second goal, which you could see in the highlights, Lindelof missed a clear tackle. Being a center defensive,
yeah.
being a center back, he had to clear that ball, and there was no way that
Mm,
they could have scored the second goal. So, as we
correct.
normally we take it very lightly towards the end, and that's when the opposition gets the better of us. And that is what happened. And that
Correct.
is something we could not repeat in today's game. We have to be very strong.
Mm,
As you correctly said, they will not
mm,
wait. The moment they get a chance of counter attack, they'll be right in our D line, and you cannot even say you may even end up conceding again. So we have to be very strong. And
Correct.
just imagine if there is no Bisaka, if there is no Lindelof, we could all anyways be a bit
Mm,
on the lower side, on the negative part. So
mm,
we have to start strong. We
correct.
have to do the defense very strong from game one, from the minute one.
Mm.
And maybe if we do that, we could end with a good result with a win.
Yeah, that's right. Now, there's another, if you see the for fixtures, the December is going to be a very busy period. But the most important thing is the next four games. These are very difficult games, and I think these are the games that not only decide our season, how it turns around, but also decide Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fate. We play Southampton today at St. Mary's, a very difficult game, like we already talked about. We have playing PSG on Wednesday at home. Now, yes, although we are playing them at Old Trafford, but we beat them in their own den, so they'll be looking to get back to us. And the most important thing, if PSG lose that game, they'll be out of the Champions League. So they will come at us very really really hard. Now after the PSG game, we're playing West Ham. Now West Ham have done pretty decent this season. Not only that, they will have a very big advantage because fans are returning, to some of the clubs. UK has basically divided them into zones: tier one, tier two, tier three. So tier two, West Ham is in tier two, so they will get around 2,000 to 4,000 home fans. So they will have their home fans with them, and they will have a lot of confidence and a good atmosphere for them. It'll be very difficult for us. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has always given excuses about not having fans in this ground. Let's see what excuses he makes. Does he make an excuse, or does he, in the press conference, he said it'll actually be good, although it will be away fans, not Manchester United fans, but then it'll be still good. It'll create an atmosphere. So let's see what happens to that game. The last game out of the four games is the Leipzig one. That will be a do or die game for us. If we beat PSG, that that game can be used for other players who don't get to play much, so we can play those players. But if we don't win against PSG, basically we end up losing that game. So we need to it'll be a very difficult game because Leipzig lost 5-0 at Old Trafford, and now we are going to their place and playing. So it'll be very difficult for us. Even they, have 50-50 chance of making it to the next round. So they will also come hard. So next four games for me, it'll be a do or die for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If he doesn't manage to do well, I think by the end of Christmas he could be sacked, or Pochettino could come in. So anything can happen. On the other hand, if we do really well, we end up winning three out of those four games. Maybe it could be a major confidence boost, and then going forward, looking at the league, how the teams are performing, and this is a very unpredictable season because of the way it started, and this I think it's a similar one wherein Leicester City won, if you remember, 3 or 4 years back. The similar kind of season, very unpredictable. Anything can happen. So if we can take advantage and do well, it'll be really good. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can save his job. On the other hand, if we don't do well in the next four games, and then they have the Man City game, we didn't do well in that game. It'll be very difficult for us. So what are your thoughts about the next four games? What do you think that will we do better? Will we win three out of four games? How many games will we manage to win?
See, first of all, talking about Ole's job is no longer safe. Even if he loses one game, the pressure is right going to be back on him. So he has to forget about the job that is going to happen in the back end. But what he can do better is to start winning games, which he's doing right now. So we must keep the winning streak going on. Again, a PSG game at home, it actually nowadays doesn't make any difference because being at home is just a mental satisfaction, but there are no fans, as you said. And Ole has a very good
Mhm.
excuse of not having fans, but that actually does not make any difference. And that is not going to save his job by saying that there are no fans and there is no motivation. So that is just an excuse, I would say. We have to start strong against PSG because if we lose, just imagine if we lose against PSG. Now, PSG are playing a do or die situation. If PSG win and if we lose, then the next match against Leipzig, we are in a do or die situation.
Correct.
So do it right now, I would say, the first game and rather not wait for the last one because whenever we play under pressure, the pressure gets better of us. So we are
Mhm.
always down when we are under pressure. So let's
Mhm.
not give us a chance that we go under pressure. We rather look up for a winning game against
Mhm.
PSG. Now,
Mhm.
since these are all mental tactics, so I think so. Soldier should be happy with the matter of fact that we could have a home game win against PSG and we could go strong in the Leipzig game and
Mhm.
play all the rest of the players who didn't get a chance to play. Maybe we can get some talent out of those players. But the next four games are going to be really tough, and maybe I hope we win all four and we see Ole in the next year as well as our manager.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all want him to succeed as a club legend, the things that he's done for the club. And it's not that, he's a really bad manager. He's learning in the job. I know at a club like United, you can't do that, but I think we need to give him a benefit of doubt. He's done some pretty, good things at the club as a manager. When Mourinho left, we were in a really bad state. So he turned things around, and then he had a bit of a rough patch. And then again, last January after we signed Bruno Fernandes, we again went on that winning run. So yes, he has the capability, and I think he needs another opportunity. Although I don't think that he is the man who can win us the title, but I'm still ready to give him the benefit of doubt.
No, but
So,
the bad part
yeah.
about I'm not saying the bad part, but what went against him is number one is just leaving Lukaku. He left Lukaku for no reason, I would say,
Okay.
and he's performing absolutely tremendously in his new club. So
Yeah, you're
that is
doing really well.
which is coming back as a hit back for him. And
Mm,
second thing is we can see Tottenham doing nowadays. Jose is doing absolutely a magic performance over there. So these
mm,
three, four things, and again you see United's performance in this current season. So these three things
mm,
are getting back at him. We are not
mm,
performing, but at the same time,
mm.
Jose is performing. At the same time,
Correct.
Lukaku is performing. So
Yeah.
the kids are just waiting for a reason. The moment we are losing, they are right back that I think that we made a mistake by sacking Jose Mourinho, or
Mm,
we Lukaku, and that was again a big mistake. But I would
yeah.
say let's keep those things aside. Those things are past now. We cannot get them back. Let's focus
Mm.
on what we have right now and let's start winning. That's
Yeah, there are still a lot of Mourinho lovers in the United fan base, who still wanted Mourinho at the club. I mean, he's a good manager, but then I think the way things happened towards the end, I think he deserved that sack. So, but moving on to our next topic, January transfer window is approaching, and I couldn't resist talking about it because we've been linked to a couple of players. We always get linked because we are United, whether a transfer window or not, we'll always get linked to big players. That is at times it feels like we just get linked to create a hype, and a player can get a better contract or he can get a better deal somewhere else. So the player that we have linked right now, we've been strongly linked is Usman Dembele of Barcelona. Now, as much as I hate to say that, there is a very likely opportunity thing that this will happen because Barcelona don't want him. Manchester United do need a right winger. Sancho we can't afford, and I think we had almost signed Dembele. Something I don't know what went wrong at the back. Either Dembele didn't want to come or Barcelona didn't want to loan him. They wanted to sell him. But I think now Barcelona are open to an opportunity to loan him till the end of the season and then sell him because I think he's not done all that well. Although he's managed to stay injury free, he's not being injured this season. So that's a change, but my stance on Dembele is the same. I do not want him anywhere near Manchester United because he's again an injury prone player, and the attitude that he possesses is not good. Doesn't show up at the training ground on time and all that stuff. It's not good. For the team morale, we don't want any such players. We already had so many issues with Pogba and Lingard and all those things happening prior to the season. So we don't want anything of that sort at the club anymore. So what do you think? Do you think we should go for Dembele or we need to wait for the summer transfer window for Sancho?
I think so. Instead of Dembele right now, we can look for a centre back. I don't think so. Dembele is required right now. Rather, I would say a centre
Mm,
back would be an ideal signing for us. Uh, I'm not
mm,
sure which centre backs are available right now for signings, but the current position, if you look at our squad, I think so. We are doing fairly good in midfield and in the attack. The
mm.
only area that we lack, I would say, is centre back. Not even the right winger,
Correct,
because
correct.
Van Bissaka is absolutely perfect over there. No one can take his position right
Mm,
now. And left back, as
mm,
you see, we already have Luke Shaw. But even after he is not there, he's injured. He's injured right now. But Alex Telles is doing a wonderful job in his absence.
Okay.
So
Correct, correct.
the only place which I feel we are suffering right now, or there needs to be a change, is our centre back. So if really we are
Mm,
looking for a signing right now, if we are ready to shell out money, get a decent centre back, maybe a young person who can basically dribble here or there,
mm,
even make those long runs in the opposition's half, and then come back and fall back once required, which we are lacking right now because Lindelof and Maguire are not the quickest of all. Yes, they are good defenders, but they are not quick, and that is something which we lack right now in this team. So I'm
correct.
not with Dembele because, as you said correctly, even I'm not really happy with his performance, even with Barcelona. And
Mm,
Barcelona is already
mm,
suffering. And just bringing him over here just because he has a name with him, I don't think so that is really required because we have one person with the same impact only with the name, which is Pogba right now, not doing anything, just being a
mm,
boy to the club. So I think so. It's high time that we sell him because his age is again becoming a factor. So let him go.
mm.
We get a decent transfer amount for him, and we get a decent centre back. That's what I would say.
Correct. Absolutely. And an interesting thing that you bought this Paul Pogba point because apparently it seems Manchester United are not looking to offer Paul Pogba a new contract. They're waiting to watch till the end of the season how it plans out, and then they maybe they're looking to sell him, get some money. So as if I was Manchester United, I would rather sell him in January because I feel enough opportunities is given to him, and I'm not against Paul Pogba. Maybe this is not the right kind of match. Maybe he can do well somewhere else. He's a really good player, but I think if this divorce between United and Pogba has to happen, it should happen in good terms. So if I were him, I would let go him in January if he really wants to go because see, again, he did well for France. He was not fit after he came from COVID, and then once he started to get his match fitness back, he did well for France, and then he picked up an injury and came back again. He's going to miss another at least 1 week of another season of the season. So getting injured again and again, when on the pitch he's not doing that well, lacking match fitness. I think this is not really going well for him as well as Manchester United. And if we can, both of them can go on separate ways, in a good terms. It'll be really good. We can get some good money and we can either buy a centre back or a defensive midfielder who can protect our centre backs and sit in front of them and have a good passing range. It'll be really good. And what would you do? You would wait till the end of the season, or would you sell Paul Pogba in January?
Well, I think so. We have given it enough of opportunities right now. I don't think so. There could be any better way of bringing him back in the team. Enough of chances given, I would say. Look at his performance. I don't
Mhm.
see anything doing good in this current season right now. At the same time, if you see against France, he was doing a fairly a good job as compared to what he's doing at the club right now. So I feel there is nothing to
Correct.
do with his performance overall. It is something. There is a difference between the club and a difference when he's playing for France. So
Mm.
maybe the mindset is not that, or maybe his position, according to what he feels, he is not able to basically gel up with the team. I don't actually know what the reason actually is,
Because he plays in
but
the same
looking
position.
at his overall,
He plays in
yeah,
the same
exactly. But
position. Yeah. Mm.
you can see the difference in the club matches and in the country matches. So there is something
Mm.
that there is only a mind game playing against him. Maybe he's not that comfortable with our squad, or maybe something not good with Ole, which we don't hear about though. Ole is very much
Mm.
happy with Pogba, but there
Mm.
is something which is going on in that, and there is something which is affecting Pogba's performance. Overall, it is affecting the team too. So I feel
Correct.
if there
That's
is
good.
something I thought a player of his caliber should move on, should not spoil his
Mm.
image, and should not spoil his career. If he is not able to
Mm.
perform at a club, he should move on, and
Mm.
that also should move on from him. And it's not that we don't have talent outside Pogba or someone of Pogba's caliber outside. We do have it. It's just that we need to be more focused now. And if in future, if we don't have Pogba, who could be our ideal player who could replace him? We just have to hunt for that player and get him signed as soon as possible. So I will not
Yeah.
wait
Absolutely.
for
Mm.
the window to open up. If he's, I think so, he's good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And even I feel so. If there's an opportunity, you know, we can either of the because he can do well somewhere else, and because he's now at the peak of his career because he's 27, 28. So he also as a player himself needs to do well because The past 3 4 years haven't been all that good for him. Yes, he's won the World Cup for France, but at the club level, it's not been that good. So I think both Manchester United and Paul Pogba need to go separate ways. If it can happen in January, nothing like it. We can get some money, get a new player, either a centre back. I would prefer a centre back, but if we can get a good defensive midfielder, nothing like it. I'll be really happy. Now moving on to the last section, interesting section. We always talk about that in the pre-match review. Uh, what do you think would be today's scoreline? Your predictions for today's game?
Well, I think so. It should be 2-1, but just getting the again the injury list. Danny Ings for Southampton is not playing. Their main striker. He
Correct.
has a knee injury. So I was going with the scoreline of 2-1, but Danny Ings not playing. I would go with 2-0. For me, Bruno
Oh,
and for me, it will be Bruno and Rashford, and it will be a 2-0 win for us. Because had Danny Ings been there, I would have gone with the scoreline of 2-1 for sure.
mm-hmm.
No Danny.
Mm-hmm.
2-0. What do you say, David?
I think without Danning, also they're doing pretty well, and for me, I think it'll be 1-1. I want us to win. I hope I get proved wrong. But I think the position that we are in, and knowing Ole, he will set a defensive mindset team. Starting Fred and Matic. We may draw Van De Beek. And if Lindelof and Van der Sar are not there again, things become difficult for us. So I think it'll be a draw. 1-1 is what I think. Our scorers, I don't think you need to even ask me that question. It's always going to be Bruno Fernandes for me because the player who makes the most impact. 35 games he's played for us till now, 21 goals and 14 assists. Look at that number. You know, he's I think you won't believe this, AB. There are fans in us fan section who still hate him, who hate Bruno Fernandes, and I don't understand this mentality of why would you hate him. What happens is, out of the 10 games, he has one bad game, doesn't do well, and which every world class player, even Ronaldo or Messi for that, they would have that. But you go on that, you come out and say bad things. Oh, I said about him, he's not all that good. He's overhyped. If he was overhyped, he wouldn't have scored 21 goals and made a 14 assists in a short span of career Manchester United. It's really, I really feel bad, when people hate Bruno Fernandes, and say bad things about it because the kind of impact he's had. If it wasn't for Bruno Fernandes, we wouldn't have been qualified in the Champions League. We would have finished fifth or sixth last season. His signing, the moment he came into the club, not only did he bring in goals and assists, he had that positive mindset. What we missed on the pitch, yeah, although he's not our captain, but he has he's got very good leadership skills, his determination to do well. He likes playing for Manchester United. Look at the way he's just come and settle in. At times, a lot of players take time to come into Manchester United and settle because it's a big club and playing in Premier League is also not all that easy. But he's never had that kind of problem, and I really hope he does better and better because I think for me he's the best centre attack midfield right now, along with Kevin De Bruyne. There's no options. Yeah, people would say a lot of player, they would come out and say a lot of players' name, but I think for me it's a very tough call between De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes. There's no other competition in the world football. So yes, my prediction coming back, it's going to be 1-1 Bruno Fernandes, and for them maybe another good player like Ward Prowse or now one of the strikers may score, but it'll be 1-1 for me. And yes, so that should be a scoreline. I really hope that I get proved wrong and we are able to get 3 points because the season is very unpredictable. And if let's see if we win this game, we beat West Ham. No, let's not go to West Ham game. Let's if we win this game, we have 5 points. Short of that top team, and we have one game in hand. So if let's say if we were to win that one game in hand, we will just be short of 2 points from the top team, Liverpool. So again, in spite of not having a good start, we still have the opportunity to recover and do well. So I think let's see if the players can show up and do pretty well. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
I think so. The score line is quite sure about me as well. As I said, 2-1. I want Bruno and Rashford to score, but at the same time, I want Martial to score this time. I'm not saying I want a 3-1 score line or something of that sort. I would still stick to 2-1, but maybe a Rashford can be changed with Martial.
Mhm.
It can be a big push for him, and he can take it forward for the next game because he's still lacking this season. So maybe a goal in
Correct.
this game, he takes it forward from there.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So guys, I think with this, we'll come to the end of this video. Maybe do you want to say anything before we end?
As you said very correctly, winning is important in today's game, and the same has to continue with the coming four games as well.
Hmm.
It's going to be a big month for us. December is going to be quite tough for us. Let's hope we tackle
Correct.
it very quickly and we start the new year with, on a very good page with qualification with the Champions League and looking good on the table too. What do you say, DV?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because it's not that we don't have that kind of players, or we can't do that. If we play the way we played against Istanbul or against Leipzig, for that matter, I think we have every capability. The talent is there. You know, we can do. We need to have right mindset. We need to stay focused. The concentration level shouldn't be dropping, and if everyone can turn up like how Bruno Fernandes turns up for every game, I think we will really do, good in this Christmas phase. Yes, you rightly said. When January starts, by that time we need to be in top four. So we need to finish. You know, Last year we finished third, so we cannot finish anything below that. If we can finish third or second, for that matter, I'm really good. I don't expect us to win the title still, even though this is unpredictable. I don't expect them to do that. But yes, finishing third or doing finishing second would be really good. It will be a step forward, and then when next season we can aim for the title.
Absolutely, David. So with that, I guess, friends, we come to the end of this video. Please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button and to hit the bell icon to get continuous notification of our channel United Chokros from Mumbai. Thank you all for joining us, and DV, wish you a happy weekend, and let's hope we end on the winning note and not
Same
with
to you,
this.
bro. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys. Goodbye. You take care of yourselves. Bye.
Bye.